Hello, this is Tyler Beamer from Haywood Community College. Purpose of this video is to show students how to find measures of center in a data set on Excel, such as mean, median, and mode. So I have a homework problem here from my math lab. I wanted to show students first how to actually take the data that is in the problem on my math lab and have it easily transposed over to Excel. So if you click on this little icon here, it'll say open in Excel. And so we want to open this data set in Excel and enable editing. And so then you can work with the data set. So that's really nice. That way everything just copies right over and you don't have to put all the numbers in, especially if it's a large data set. So the first thing the problem's asking me to find is the mean for the data set. So the mean is the same thing as the average. So if I hit equals, that's how we start every function in Excel, with equals, and start typing in average, you'll see a function for the average. And if I double click there, that function will pop up. Let me zoom in here a little bit so you guys can see better. Okay. So once we get the average here, function popped up, you just highlight the numbers that you want to take the average of, and so it will have the column and the cell for all of the numbers, and hit equals. Now it'll let me zoom in, and then we'll have the average here for this data set. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my math lab problem, and so that average was 20.8. So then I can put it in here, check that answer. Okay, median. Okay, so the median is the middle of a sorted data set, and there are instructions in the course notes for how to find median by hand. Of course, if we're using it on Excel, it's a little bit easier. Once again, start the function by equals, start typing in median, and you will see that function pop up. Double click it, highlight the numbers once again for the data set that you're trying to find the median of, hit equals, and then Excel will automatically calculate that for you. So 14.35. Okay, mode. Mode is a little bit trickier on Excel. Mode is the value in the data set that occurs the most. If none of the data points actually repeat themselves, then there would be no mode. You can have a data set that's multimodal. So let's say you have a data point in which that data value appeared the greatest number of times. Let's say that one data point appeared twice and another data point appeared twice. Then you could have what we call a multimodal data set. So there's two modes. So you can have as many modes as possible. And once again, this is described in the course notes as well. What I'm going to do is actually sort this list. So if I highlight the data and I go to the data tab, and then there's a sort mechanism here, and I can sort this data from smallest to largest. So I want to do that, and that just makes it easier for me to kind of see which numbers may repeat, if numbers do repeat. So if I look at all of these numbers here, I do not see any numbers that repeat themselves. So every data point appears once. So if that's the case, then there is no special data point that appears the greatest number of times. So then for this particular problem, there is no mode because of that. Let me show you how you could calculate the mode on Excel. So if we hit equals, start typing in mode. And with Excel, the mode's a little bit trickier. You've got a couple of different mode functions. You've got a mode multi and a mode single. So if you do have multi-modes, you can use this function, or if you just have a single mode, you can use this function. Let's try the multimodal, see what happens. And it gives me NA, so there's no mode there. If I do multi-mode single, should get the same thing. So either one of those. To be honest with you, the data sets you're working with here in MyMathLab aren't too large. I would recommend just sorting it and then using the list, just eyeballing it to find the mode. So I'll just show you, for example, like if you had a data set like this, right, there would be a mode because 2 appears twice, which is more than any of the other data points. So let's just see what Excel gives us when we do this. So if I do the multi-mode, it tells me the mode is 2. If I do the single mode, hopefully I get the same answer. The mode is 2. Okay. Let's say you had a data set. I'm just making these up. Like this, right? We should have multi-mode here. Because we notice that we have the data point 2, which appears twice, and the data point 3, which appears twice. So let's just see what Excel does here. See, it just lists one of the modes. So this function on Excel is a little trickier to use. And since mode is so easy to calculate, I would just recommend sorting the list and then using it by hand. The Excel feature works great if there's just one mode, but like in this particular example, if you've got multi-modes here, it doesn't work so great. It just gives you one of the 2 possible modes there. So there is a way to make it work, but it gets really complicated, and I'd rather not go into that. Like I said, the data sets here are not that large, so I'd recommend just kind of sorting them and then either finding them by hand visually, or you can use the single mode function on Excel. All right, mid-range. Mid-range is the largest data point plus the smallest data point divided by 2. I don't think there is a special function on Excel. It'll find the midpoint for you, but that's not quite what we're looking for in regards to the mid-range. So here's what I recommend doing. You can take the largest plus the smallest, divide that by 2. So you could just kind of type that in as a function on Excel, and that should calculate it for you. Okay. And then of course you've got some multiple choice questions to answer here. But that's how you can find measures of center using Excel. That will save you some time using those functions. And once again, it's the average function to find the mean, the median function to find the median, the mode function, which is a little hairy. Like I said, you might just want to sort that list and find the mode, eyeballing it. And then the mid-range, there is no specific feature for mid-range, but if you have the sorted list, you can create a function in Excel and it will calculate it for you. So hopefully this helps. Feel free to use this on your homework and your quiz. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please email those to me. Have a great day.